Hey team, welcome to the channel. As always, man, I'm stoked to see you. In this video, I'm gonna give you 3 intermediate skills that you can put into your kit bag so that the next time that you're out moving through the wilderness, you can do so with much more confidence than you have in the past. Man, that's what this channel is all about. Fieldcraft and tactical virtue. If that's what you're into and you want to stay up to date on some future content, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so that you can stay up to date on some future content. Right, and as we get going, I'm not going to spend too much time on some basic skills like how to read a map or how to use a compass individually. So if you need to peel back the onion on these things and get caught up to speed per se, then make sure you check out my land navigation playlist and it'll do just that for you. So the first thing I need you to do before you start taking pen to paper on your map is orient yourself to the world around you. And so I'm going to do that real quick because I want to make sure that because we're getting ready to plot our location, I want to make sure that as I'm looking down and when I look back up, that everything kind of makes sense, because I don't have any steering marks around here, right? It's just trees and vegetation, and I have no major minor terrain features I can use to kind of help orient myself with where we're at. And so north is in this direction, and so I'm gonna plot down and we'll plot where we're at, but I want to make sure that as I'm plotting, when I look back up, the world just makes sense. I want to be oriented as I'm doing this work. All right, so we're at 39300710, and so I'm going to read to the right, 39300710. So I know I'm right here. Let me double check. All right, so we're good there, and then we're going to 39800790, so that's 39, slide to the right to 80, and then read up to 90, and move this over, double check. All right, so normally at this point, what you would do, right, is you determine your distance and your direction, and you would push out from there. But as I'm looking at this map, I'm going to do something a little bit different. We're going to take you along for the ride. I'm going to show you 3 things that you can put in your kit bag to help give you a lot more confidence. Let's do this. Right, so now that we made it to this first checkpoint, if you will, I want to bring it back to the map and show you exactly what we did and why I just simply moved out in a cardinal direction as opposed to pulling a distance and direction. So this linear feature I used as a backstop, and that's one of the key points. The first key point I want to share with you is be able to use a backstop to keep you from moving too far, okay? So as we look down, we can see where we started from, right? And we're moving along, and we moved up, and bam, we moved up to our backstop. Now that I'm here, I'm at a known major man-made terrain feature, and that's this road, which I can see right here. I don't know where I'm at on this road, but that's all good, because from here, we're going to go on to key point number 2, and that's I'm going to use this road as a handrail. Now, depending on where you're at, like maybe you're going through an assessment selection, you can't walk on your handrail, right? So a handrail is basically just that. You can imagine if you're just kind of holding on to this thing, and I could walk along holding on to this road, right? And I'm just holding on, and I'm using this to guide me which direction I need to go. It's moving in the same cardinal direction that I need to move in, so it's a kind of a safety feature, if you will. And then from here, I'm gonna follow this handrail down to my next point, and then from there, I'll show you the key point number 3 that you need to put in your kit bag in order to help really just fine tune some of your land nav skills. So just to refresh, key point number 1 was to have a backstop. I need something that I know that I can't move past, something that's gonna be obvious when I get there. Right? Maybe it's a power transmission line. Maybe it's a river. Maybe it's a creek. Maybe it's a dry creek bed. Maybe it's a road. But it's a linear feature that's going to help keep me kind of as a boundary, as a fence. I'm not going to move past that point. And I knew that when we started off looking here, that if I just moved in a northerly direction, I didn't care how far I moved, if I drifted left or if I drifted right. I just wanted to make myself to this road. Now that I hit my backstop, I'm going to use the road as a handrail, and I'm going to travel down in the easterly direction to checkpoint number 3, if you will, as far as the key point number 3 that we're going to get through on this. So again, man, if you're going through an assessment selection, you may have to hang off out in the brush 20, 30 yards, but as long as you keep that handrail within sight, you'll always be good to go. Right, now that I hit this intersection, I'm going to push back a little bit further just to help keep myself oriented, if you will. Make sure that I know exactly where I want to be. And now we're going to move back to this intersection. I'm going to show you exactly where we're at, why I came to this point, and the technique that we're going to use from here to move to our destination. Right, and so from this destination, what this is called an attack point. An attack point is nothing more than a known fixed point that you can work to that's closer to your destination than where you started from, right? Where we started from was hundreds of meters away from our destination. Could I have kept an azimuth, that distance and direction the entire way? Yes, I could have. But it's much easier to move to that backstop and then use that handrail to work down to this intersection. And now that I'm here, I mean, the insight is right almost in front of me, friends. So we're gonna plot a distance and direction from this checkpoint here to our destination, and then we're gonna pick it up and we're gonna move out. All right, so here we are. Grab the old Pinceroonie. And I can see that from this intersection to our destination, that from where we're at to our destination, 50 degrees grid, and the distance 250 meters. And we can see along the way that we're gonna hit another road, and we could use this little road here as another handrail, but we're gonna cut a straight azimuth from here. So our declination diagram to convert from grid to magnetic is we're gonna subtract the GM angle. The GM angle is 15 degrees, so 50 minus 15 degrees is gonna give us 35 degrees magnetic, right? And so from here, what we're going to do is we're going to preset our compass 35 degrees magnetic, right? It's 30, 5. Preset it by aligning the tritium marker on the bezel ring to the tritium marker of my north-seeking arrow, and I don't have the steering mark, but I only have to move 250 degrees or 250 meters. So I have my azimuth I need to shoot, 35 magnetic, and my compass is preset. And I also know that I'm going to move out 2.5 times because I'm moving out 250 meters. 70 paces is my pace count. So 70 paces 2 times, and then 35 paces after that, and we should be right on our marker. And if we look down at our map, some other useful bits of information that we can see. Right, I can see that our point is right on the edge of this marsh, where it looks like there's a strand of maybe some Hargrove, and as I look out in front of me, I can see that, right? And so the point is just to the west of that. So I can even kind of use what I see out here in front of me as kind of a steering mark to help keep me on the right path as well. And I know, quite frankly, that as soon as I get in front of this little grove of trees, which it looks to be right in front of me, we should come across our mark. Let's do this. All right, so now I just hit my 200-meter mark. I'm on this road. I got 35 more paces to go, and we're going to be right on the edge. And I can already see what I'm looking for, and it's some environmental markers out here that we'll see here in just a second. Let's do this. So 1, 2. All right, friends, we made it out to our marker, and as you can see, I got the strand of trees, this whole oak grove right in here, and I got all this little marsh that's stretching out back to my right, your left. All right, so to refresh, to rehash all the skills that we did and we went over today. The first one was using a backstop. Again, a backstop is nothing more than a safety measure that's out in front in a cardinal direction, if you will. That you know if you keep moving in that cardinal direction, you're going to come across this major man-made or natural terrain feature that you know that you don't want to push out beyond it. It's a boundary, it's a fence line, if you will. It's a little shot collar, right? And the next one was a handrail. And a handrail was something that we could use, that we could kind of walk and hold on to, if you will, to keep us moving in a general direction. And from there, from that handrail, we moved on to what's called an attack point. An attack point is nothing more than a fixed point that you can move to that's closer to your destination than where you started from. And then you can move out from there to your destination. Let me know if these 3 skills are going to be value added the next time that you go out and do some land navigation, and we can keep this conversation rolling. Leave some comments for me down below. Let me know what you think about it. If there's some value added to your kit bag the next time you move out. We can keep this conversation rolling. If you did enjoy it, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell so you can stay up to date on some future content. If you think somebody else needs to be brought into this conversation and community, consider sharing this out with your battle buddies as well. Man, I hope, as always, until then, you stay stoked. And man, isn't this just a beautiful, stinking dadgum day. Man, I'm loving this. Loving it. Let's get out of here.